Welcome to another episode. What are you reading? What are you writing? I'm your host, Karen E. Osborne, and my latest novel, True Grace, just came out a month ago. So I'm really excited to have you back with us. I hope you're back, or if this is new to you, thank you so much for joining us. My guest today is Cheri Krueger. Hey, Cheri.
Hi, Karen. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you. Uh, so, uh, so just I'll tell you a little bit about Cheri, and then she'll tell you about herself. So she has written four novels, and the latest one that is literally coming out in just a few days is The Abduction of Adrian Berg. Actually, it came out last week, and it's described as a psychological thriller and a romantic suspense novel. Don't you love that combination? I
I
can't
do.
wait to hear about this, Cheri. So tell us the premise of your book.
Okay. So here's the cover.
No, we
Mm,
can't quite see it.
can't quite see it.
No, yeah, it's
Um,
blurry. I think because your background is blurred.
right. Well, it's on my website. And it's on the Black Rose Writing website because it's published by Black Rose Writing. But the premise of the novel is that Adrian is a very complicated woman. She's living a privileged lifestyle, but it doesn't feel good to her because she actually grew up on the streets. So when Gabriel comes along, she is more than willing to switch from hostage to accomplice very quickly. And so, in
So
a
wait,
way,
wait, hold on. So Gabriel came along. He abducted her, right?
he abducted her. Yes.
Yes, he didn't just come along.
He came along to steal $3 million from Adrian's husband's closet, and he's taking Adrian with him. So Gabriel is I describe him as a very gentlemanly kidnapper. He's not a bad guy. He just does bad things, and Adrian is quite taken with him. However, the twist is that Gabriel already has a girlfriend, and so he rejects all of Adrian's attempts at seduction. So there's a lot of
Oh my.
angst, a lot of longing, a lot of yearning, unrequited love, that kind of stuff, steamy stuff. Yeah.
It's wonderful. Sounds really good. So I went to your website and and I saw that your three other books. I mean, four books. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yay, you.
Yay,
Uh,
me.
And and the covers are all very light and bright. And then this one, the cover is dark and kind of sinister looking. And I just wondered, like, was this a turn for you? Is this trying something new, or what was going on there?
So my first three books are basically women's fiction. There's a strong element of romance to each one of them, but they are all women's fiction. The first two books are related, and then the third book is not, but they all basically are women's fiction. And then when it came time to write my next book, I wanted to do a thriller, but I don't like killing people. So I think that's why I've never tried a thriller before. I don't like killing people, but it was really fun. I got the idea from this thing. It was in my head, this image in my head of a woman who's kneeling in her rose garden with a trowel over her head in both hands, and she slams it into the ground with all her strength. And I kept having this image in my head. I said, who is this woman and why is she so angry? So this is while I'm trying to percolate an idea for a thriller. So then I come up with well, maybe she's going to be, at the point I didn't know. But then I had a dream that someone that I loved very much called me in the middle of the night, screaming in terror. So I took that dream and made that part of Adrian's story. Her screaming, tape recorded screams are a big part of the story, and what her
Wow,
husband
wow.
gets to come home to when she's gone.
It's so interesting how characters and plot points just kind of come into our heads, right? And characters start talking to us, and you have dreams. I mean,
Yes. Well, you
that's how
find
the
inspiration,
imagination
as you know, Karen, you find inspiration everywhere. Yeah.
everywhere. I just had a wonderful conversation with AJ McCarthy, And I saw on her Amazon page her description, and it was that uh, her friends are all nervous because they're afraid they'll be killed in one of her novels.
I think
Which I
that's
don't
why my
know.
husband. I think that's why my husband won't read my stuff. He's like, I don't want to know what goes on in her head.
Right. Absolutely. Uh, so what do you love about what's your protagonist's name, first of all?
Um, the protagonist is Adrian. So Adrian is the
That's
main
right,
character.
Adrian. Yes, the abduction.
Yeah.
So what's Adrian like? What do you love about Adrian?
I tried to model Adrian after my favorite fictional character, Scarlett O'Hara, who is a woman who's not super likable, but she is relatable because she wants what we all want, a home. And she's ruthless and willing to do whatever it takes to get what she wants. And that's
Hmm,
Adrian.
that's Adrian. And so that's kind of both her good and bad qualities, right? It's kind
Yes.
of a yes, it's kind of a
Yes.
mixture there. So tell us again about the villain.
So
He
Gabriel
turns into
is
a love interest.
she wants him to be her love interest. Gabriel is he's ex-military, he's a pilot, and he's described as being strikingly handsome or even ridiculously gorgeous, depending on who's talking about him. But he uses his charisma to manipulate people. So again, it's both his good feature and his bad feature. And but again, his goal is so relatable. He has a pregnant girlfriend and he wants his child to have a better life than he had. So he's
Mm,
doing bad things, but he's not a bad man.
not a bad man, just a good person doing bad things.
Yes.
Right? So, genres do you like to read?
I mostly read women's fiction and suspense. I'm a big fan of Stephen King, Lisa Jewell, for women's fiction, Margaret Atwood, Ann Tyler. I just finished a book by J.W. Hewitt that I'm telling everybody to read called The Life She Wants, I think is what it's called. Now I'm going to forget now that The Life She Wants by J.W. Hewitt. So good. The bad girl in that is just so bad.
What is that book about?
It's about a girl who wants a life and she's going to take it away from somebody else to get what she wants. Again, it's a woman who's ruthless, manipulative, conniving, and
I have a type that you like there, I see.
seems like I do.
Was
I
there
like to call
any
them
book,
strong women with a goal.
strong woman with a goal, with a ruthless strong woman with a goal? Was there any books that you read over the course of your life that you felt had this really profound effect on you, either as a person or as a writer?
Again, I think I've been reading Stephen King since Cheri came out. I've been a fan for decades, and I'm just really in awe of how he can use a couple of sentences and make a character come to life. Even if he plans on killing them in the next paragraph, you already care about that person. And he does that all the time, as you
Yes,
probably know.
that's
And
a
then again,
gift.
yeah, and then Margaret Atwood for her gift of just prose and how she can show you her worldview without seeming preachy. And she's just really good at getting her point across in a very literary way. I admire her a great deal.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Me
Yeah.
too. How can our audience find your books, all four of them? How can they be in touch with you? How can they follow you? Where are you? Tell us all about how they can be in touch with you.
Okay. So I'm on Amazon, of course. Cheri Krueger, there's only one of me. If you spell my name correctly, there's only one of me. And so all four of my books are on there. Adrian Berg will be available tomorrow. I'm not sure what day your podcast is going out, but October 5th. It'll be available on
And
ebook.
you're going out this today that we're broadcasting is the 10th. So it just
So
came out.
Yay. On paperback, audio, ebook, paperback, and audiobook. I was very excited that Reagan got my audiobook launched for my launch date. So that was really exciting. So on Amazon, Cheri Krueger. My website is ocheri.com. That's OHCHERI.com. And at the bottom of every page, there's a little field you can fill out with your email address to get on my newsletter, which I send out very sporadically. So don't worry about me spamming you. I'm also on Instagram as Cheri_Krueger_writer. And I'm on Twitter at Love is Cool.
Love is cool. That's great. You mentioned an audiobook. Uh, did were you involved in that process at all?
I was
Or
not. When I signed my
publisher
contract,
just found?
Reagan mentioned that he would pitch my book to narrators. And I just waited to see what happened. And then I got an email last week. It said, "Oh, your audiobook is ready." And I was like, "Oh."
Did you get
I,
to listen to it?
I I can't listen to mine because it's not out yet, so I have not heard anything yet. But when it comes out, I'm ready to go. And I did see that the narrator narrated another book for another Black Rose writing author. So Sasha, I'm not going to remember her last name, but so I was able to listen to the narrator's voice at least on Audible. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so fun listening to a good voice actor read your words. It's such a cool experience. And I was listening to the voice narrator who did True Grace. She did all of my books. But I was listening to True Grace on the treadmill. And my eyes are filling up and I'm still like all caught up in the story because she acts it so well. She's such a
That
good reader. So it's
that's
it's fun to
amazing.
hear one's words, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's different to get out of your own head and like just kick back and let somebody else read it to you. I don't know what that feels like, so I'm really excited for that moment.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
Thank
I
you.
hope all of you will, if you love listening to audiobooks, that you will purchase Cherry's audio version of her book, and that you'll go to her website, that you'll follow her on Instagram, and that you'll let her know, and you'll sign up for her newsletter,
Yes.
and that you will let her know that you met her here on What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Until next week, take care, everybody.
Thank you.